Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at yet another example of a VTuber being canceled, not only by Twitter users, but by her own peers as well. Welcome to the Thunderdome today, a VTuber named Cha-Cha, who's a pretty successful indie VTuber who's now under fire after a clip of hers has gotten a lot of attention on Twitter, and in that clip she made a joke about ICE,
Oh
which of course
no!
is Immigration and Customs Enforcement, a federal law enforcement agency in the United States. Now, before we watch a little bit of the related clip, for context, a viewer asked if the rumors are true, and the rumor, the joke, was that Fillion, her friend who hasn't streamed in a while, hasn't been streaming because she was taken by ICE. This is the clip that everyone's very mad about right now.
Is there any truth to your daughter being on hiatus because ICE sent her back to the Philippines? I wasn't going to talk about this at all. I shouldn't say anything, but the rumors are true. The rumors are true. ICE did knock down Fillion's door, and they did kidnap her and send her back to the Philippines. And I'm currently working with ICE at the moment to get her back. It's a work in progress.
So she would go on in the clip to say she has the ICE agents lined up and she's about to spank them or something. The point being, she was making a joke to her friend, but because it involved ICE, which is a very heated topic right now, people are very upset in the replies and in the quotes. I'm just going to give you a couple of examples so you guys can understand what we're talking about here. With nearly 7,000 likes, this person says, hey, so this stuff isn't just poor taste, it's disgusting. This person says, every time I think there's a chill, no BS VTuber in the community, they suddenly do the most insensitive and immature things for attention. It's so gross. This person says, F ICE and F anyone that jokes about it, period. This person says 150,000 followers, and instead of using your voice for good, you say dumb, tasteless stuff like this. Yikes. This person says making jokes about Fillion being kidnapped by ICE while it's actively happening to tons of people is in such poor taste.
Gotta walk on eggshells when talking about this stuff. Or you might end up missing.
Do better. Now, I would have just ended it there. I probably wouldn't have made a video at all. You know, it's the usual stuff, people being hypersensitive about these sorts of topics and jokes. But what really made me make this video today is the sheer hypocrisy of some of these people. The same people saying do better and, you know, basically saying you should never joke about acts of violence or anything like that. They've been doing it forever at the expense of other people. Like,
Yeah, it is so hypocritical. Pot call the kettle black, I say.
Like, you will not believe the hypocrisy I'm going to show you. It's actually insane. So let's begin with this one. This person says, I didn't know being a effing ghoul was the standard for being a VTuber. This stuff isn't anything to joke about. You deserve to be treated like ICE agents do. Absolutely shameful. So obviously this person is basically saying that you should have violence inflicted upon you. That's what they're driving at here. It's not very subtle at all, okay? But all I did for this account was search one word. Kirk. So this person saying, never joke about this type of stuff, they say this. Hey, at the very least, Charlie Kirk was finally leaning left. Making a joke about his death. Things that'll never get old. Charlie Kirk jokes. and Charlie Kirk. Using the freedom fighters to promote
Yep,
ICE,
yep,
go
there you
follow in
go.
your friend Kirk's footsteps. That's not what the meme means, you Sprite-sipping mayo monkey. Charlie Kirk literally reaped what he has sown. Quickly now, without using slurs, explain yourself or fall off this platform harder than Charlie Kirk did in his chair. Transphobe. Sonic would hate you. Go Kirk yourself. You see, we're dealing with some very unhinged, unwell human beings who are now going to police you for any sort of a joke you make about ICE. Meanwhile, they're wishing violence upon people endlessly. Okay? It was not hard to find these sorts of comments on people's accounts. Here's another one. This person says, well, thank you for joking about such a dark, sensitive topic and making it so obvious that you're not worth paying attention to now or at any point in the future. This same person who's mad about you making jokes about dark topics had absolutely no problem making dark jokes
Got your attention,
about
though.
Charlie Kirk and pretending he's in hell while mocking him. So here's another one. Guys, the Gestapo going around ending and kidnapping people is so funny, right? Well, this person doesn't like this sort of violence going around. Rev post on my timeline, day effing ruined. I want to end that guy with hammers for the republicanism and for being morbidly unfunny. Wow, this seems like a very sane individual. And if you had a bad time seeing one of my tweets on the timeline, guess what, buddy? Your day is going to be a lot worse right now, okay? But yeah, this individual talking about ending people like me with hammers, like, let's be honest, dude, you would have a panic attack if you had to interact with your waiter at a restaurant, okay? Okay, like, chill out, dude. But here's another one, saying this person being friends with Fillion and making a joke about ICE kidnapping people is one of the least surprising effing things ever. Can we please stop giving these people love and support and start effing calling these ghouls out every effing day? Look at the account that made this tweet. Burn FaZe Connects, the VTuber agency, to the ground. FaZe is to VTubers what Israel is to the world. Delete them all. This person has a dedicated account to basically wanting these VTubers from FaZe deleted, while also having this
Holy crap!
weird connection
Troll.
to Israel, calling it the Israel of VTubers. Crazy stuff. Totally sane individuals. Here's another one saying, I am a big fan of Fillion, but we really shouldn't be making jokes like this. Tourist behavior? Pretty much on a routine basis, every couple of months, people drag up this joke that Fillion made about George Floyd. So if you have an issue with Cha-Cha's joke about ICE, don't pretend like as a Fillion fan you're shocked, because this is the type of jokes she's been making for a long time. So yeah. Here's another one saying, not surprised someone in Fillion's inner circle made a downright disgusting ICE joke when Fillion herself has made horrific George Floyd jokes in the past that she hasn't apologized for. I find it
The back and forth. Jokes this, joke that. It's usually the same darn people who loves to stir up stupid drama. And get so political with it all. I think most of these people, if they are even that, are nothing but trolls. You just got to ignore them. Or they will drag you down to their level. I just will never understand why some people are so soft. They won't last a year in my world.
Very interesting people like this try to play the moral high ground when literally they have a hammer and sickle in their name. And this person is a self-described Latina communist. Like, there is absolutely no self-awareness whatsoever. And here's another one. Right-wing edgelord VTubers need to be removed from the space. Well, I appreciate saying from the space and not like removed from life. So I guess we're toning down the rhetoric a little bit. But also it's funny that this person's now right-wing. Cha-Cha's now right-wing. You make a joke about ICE, and now you are right-wing and have no place in the VTubing scene. But then again, do we really take the opinion of someone who, once again, has a hammer and sickle in their name very seriously? As a Filipino, I am sorry these people are a part of our community. F ICE. Wow. That's interesting. So are you like excommunicating her from anything, or like you get to speak on behalf of an entire group of people? Also, shout outs to the Philippines, by the way. I believe it's my third highest demographic in terms of where my viewers come from. Don't really know like what the connection is there and like how that happened, but it's cool, I guess. So shout outs to you guys who've been, the Philippines has been a part of this video today, so I just wanted to say that. But here's another interesting comment about race. A Latina mom joking about ICE taking her fake daughter when real families are being torn apart is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in VTubing this year. Well, I've seen a lot more
Here we
disgusting
go
things,
again.
like, people like being outed for being like predators and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say a joke about ICE is the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. But anyways, down here she says she's white passing. She's a white passing Latina. Are we like power scaling skin color now? Like what is this? This is the most permanently online thing I've seen in a moment, okay? Like a white passing Latina. Interesting stuff. This person says this stuff is why I'd be saying I have a VTuber model. I'm not a VTuber. first thing about yourself, you call yourself a VTuber. So you're not very dedicated to your virtue signaling here. But may karmic retribution find you tenfold. This is interesting. I regret to inform people like this, stuff like this blows over in like 2 days. And maybe in like 8 months when people are bored, they're going to bring this back up again for clout on Twitter. But that's how these things work. Everyone's just going to forget about this in 2 days. Yeah.
They usually do.
You think people are going to be like seething over this? Do you think anyone in her community really cares? Like the overwhelming vast majority who's clearly okay with that type of humor, whether you like it or not, Twitter user, it seems like her own community probably doesn't have an issue with it. And the fact that she's been around and collabed with people like Fillion so much, yeah, I don't think this is some giant stain. Like the only people who are mad are all these people on Twitter that probably really didn't support her anyways. Right, it's a lot of VTubers trying to get attention, trying to virtue signal, and a bunch of people trying to jump in on the dogpiling. That's really all there is to it. So at the end of the day, everyone's going to forget about this. People are seething about this, and like I said, the main reason I even talked about this today is because of the hypocrisy. People want to virtue signal about empathy and all these things when they are the most deranged human beings ever. All they got to do is look back a couple weeks or put in certain phrases into their account and you'll instantly get results. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
She will be fine. Soft internet drama like this is temporary.